What is up? I am Toga. I'm going to paint this canvas. I'm going to go way outside my comfort zone to do so. But what's in my comfort zone? Things like this. And this. This. That. Sometimes this. This. That. And this. When I first had the vision for this painting, I felt like my typical style wasn't really gonna bring to life what I was envisioning. I realized I was gonna have to go out of my comfort zone to make this painting look like I intended. I was gonna have to do things like abstract and pseudo-realism. I was also going to try a technique called glazing, which I've never tried before, and I'll talk more about that as I get to that point in the painting. What I'm doing here is just laying down colors. The only thing I really know at this point is my light source is coming from the upper left of the canvas, and I want the center of this canvas to have light with the light source coming from the upper left. I'm really letting the painting decide what I do next. Does it need more color here? Does it need more substance here? And I'm kind of loosely framing in what's going to be at the center of this painting with my colors. This was very outside my comfort zone, as I'm usually very meticulous before I even begin a painting. I know exactly how it's going to look, what colors I'm going to use. With this one, I truly just had a color palette and began throwing down colors where it felt right. One of the main figures in this painting is going to be a chimpanzee. So at this point, I transferred my sketch of the chimpanzee onto the canvas. This was really just to help me with my background colors that I'm still laying down, making sure I'm laying them down in the right places, making sure I have the light illuminating down onto the chimpanzee. What I'm doing here is glazing. Glazing is simply taking my acrylic paint, really watering it down, and then laying it down on the painting. What this is doing is allowing the things behind it to show through still, but it knocks it back a little bit. My process is doing a glaze, throwing down some of the foliage and various textures and colors, and then I glaze over it, which knocks it back another layer, and then repeat. This is going to add depth to the jungle. Here I took some really watered down light yellow paint and just allowed it to drip. And I only let it sit a few seconds, and then I would dab it off, making sure not to wipe it. It creates an interesting effect because this could be either trees way in the background or maybe it's vines. It's really open to interpretation. I'm sketching in my chimpanzee, and that's really all I'm doing is sketching with my paint, filling in some of the darker values. At this point, I flipped my canvas to make sure I'm looking at the chimp to get his proportions right. I then pre-mix my magenta and turquoise. I'm adding various amounts of white so that I have all of my values ready to go as I begin. For the hair, I was just patching it in, trying to follow the chimp's natural muscle structure. I'd then go over that with a glaze and then do another layer of hair, and I did this several times over until it really started to take shape. Once I felt like the chimp was done, I started knocking back some of the lighter colors and building up the jungle around him. I feel like I really grew by going outside my comfort zone with this painting. It was just very rewarding going off intuition as I worked through this versus following a mapped out plan. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time watching my video. I hope you took something from it. I hope you consider subscribing to my channel and liking my video. Again, thank you.